Stay tuned for Gulas and Welch live studio wrestling right after Wide World of Sports.
Spanning the globe to bring you the constant variety of sport, the thrill of victory, and the agony of defeat. The human drama of athletic competition. This is ABC's Wide World of Sports.
Brought to you by Allstate Insurance Companies. For insurance to protect your car, your home, your life and health, business too, you're in good hands with Allstate. By the Shell Oil Company, makers of Super Shell, the gasoline for good mileage. Super Shell in the clean white pump wherever you see the sign. And by Weyerhaeuser, the company that's working on tomorrow's ideas in pulp, paper, packaging, lumber, plywood, and other building materials.
It's Saturday evening in the late 1960s. Families across Middle Tennessee gather around their television sets. With only 3 local stations to choose from, every show was an event. On Channel 4, viewers enjoyed favorites like Flat and Scruggs, People Are Funny, The Bob Crosby Show, and Opening Night before settling in for the late-night movie. Over on Channel 5, audiences tuned in to Perry Mason, Top Dollar, Have Gun, Will Travel, Gunsmoke, and The $1 Million Movie. These classic westerns, mysteries, and dramas became part of America's weekend tradition. Channel 8 offered a different kind of entertainment. Young people danced along with TV Bop Hop and The Dick Clark Show. Country music fans enjoyed local performances, and millions watched the always popular Lawrence Welk Show. But as the evening wore on, something special was about to happen. At 9:30, the excitement shifted from music and variety shows to the bright lights of the television studio. The ring was set. The crowd was roaring. The cameras were rolling. Live Studio Championship Wrestling came on the air, bringing fans the stars of the Nick Gulas and Roy Welch territory. Heroes and villains battled it out in front of a packed studio audience, with hard-hitting action, dramatic interviews, and unforgettable rivalries that kept viewers glued to their televisions every Saturday night. For wrestling fans across Tennessee, this wasn't just another TV show. It was the highlight of the week. When Live Studio Championship Wrestling hit the air, everything else could wait. Saturday night truly belonged to professional wrestling.
Before cable television changed professional wrestling forever, one man helped make it a weekly tradition across the South. That man was Nick Gulas. Nick Gulas was one of the most influential wrestling promoters in Tennessee and the southeastern United States. Working alongside Roy Welch, Gulas built one of the National Wrestling Alliance's most successful territories, promoting events throughout Tennessee, Alabama, Kentucky, and surrounding states. From his office in Nashville's historic Sam Davis Hotel, Nick Gulas coordinated hundreds of wrestling events every year. Fans would stop by the hotel to buy advance tickets for the famous Wednesday night cards at the Nashville Fairgrounds Coliseum, where some of the biggest stars in wrestling entertained thousands of fans. But Nick Gulas knew that television was the key to growing the sport. Every week, families across the region gathered around their televisions to watch exciting matches, colorful personalities, and interviews that built anticipation for the next live event. His television programs helped launch and showcase legendary stars including Jackie Fargo, Len Rossi, Tojo Yamamoto, Jerry Lawler, and many others. He became household names throughout the South. Known for his friendly smile and sharp business sense, Nick Gulas spent decades promoting professional wrestling and helping shape the golden era of territorial wrestling. His influence can still be felt today by wrestling historians and longtime fans who remember the excitement of Saturday television and packed arenas. And if you want to experience a piece of that golden era, join us for Live Studio Championship Wrestling, where the tradition of classic professional wrestling continues, bringing the excitement, the action, and the memories back to life.
Stay tuned to Channel 8 for Live Studio Championship Wrestling as promoted by Gulas and Welch. Coming up next, WSIX TV Channel 8 presents Live Studio Championship Wrestling. Welcome to Live Studio Championship Wrestling. I am Nick Gulas, and we have a great show lined up featuring the top wrestling stars such as
Don Carson and Bearcat Brown! Dante and the Great Mephisto! We are the Spoilers! And we are the mass terror of the wrestling world! Jackie Fargo and Len Rossi! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the popular team of Ken Lucas and Dennis Hall! The team of Don Carson and the Red Shadow. Don and Al Green. Welcome from the hills of Kentucky, the Scufflin' Hillbillies!
Let's hear from our sponsor, Mountain Dew. It'll tickle your innards.
Old Sal was a stone-hearted gal, refusing to bill or to coo. But Clem was right smart, he appealed to her heart with that gal getting good old Mountain Dew.
Yahoo! Mountain Dew! Mountain Dew will tickle your innards cause there's a bang in every bottle.
At the county turkey shoot, 'cause Luke warn't worth a hoot, he was hopeless till he finally took the cue.
Yahoo! Mountain Dew!
Now he shoots off the cuff, gets more than enough after nipping at that good old Mountain Dew.
Sure as shooting, there's a bang in every bottle of our delicious soft drink, Mountain Dew. It'll tickle your innards.
Howdy, folks, we're the Hillbillies, and we're here to sing. Oh, the hillbilly life is the life for me, with my friends and my banjo, happy as can be. Yeehaw!
The year is 1968, and America is in the middle of one of the most exciting eras in entertainment. The #1 pop song is Mrs. Robinson by Simon and Garfunkel. Country music fans are listening to Honey by Bobby Goldsboro, the top country hit of the week. On television, The Andy Griffith Show is America's highest-rated program, bringing families together every week. At the movie theater, one of the biggest box office hits of the year is 2001, A Space Odyssey, a groundbreaking film that changes science fiction forever. But in Nashville, Tennessee, another kind of excitement is taking center stage. The Fairgrounds Coliseum is packed with thousands of wrestling fans for another spectacular night presented by Nick Gulas and Roy Welch. The main event features a wild six-man elimination tag battle as Don Carson, Red Shadow, and Corsica Joe collide with the colorful Scufflin' Hillbillies, Rip and Slim with Cousin Alfred. Special referee Len Rossi is there to keep order. The card also features Len Rossi defending the NWA Southern Junior Heavyweight Championship against the feared Tojo Yamamoto, managed by the crafty Saul Weingroff. Plus, Ken Lucas and Dennis Hall battle Buster Gordon and Mighty Yankee in a hard-hitting tag team opener. This was the golden age of professional wrestling. Before cable television, before pay-per-view, and before the internet, fans filled arenas every week to watch larger-than-life heroes and villains battle in the ring. In 1968, Wednesday night at the Nashville Fairgrounds Coliseum wasn't just another sporting event. It was the biggest night of the week for wrestling fans, where unforgettable rivalries came alive and legends were made. Nashville Fairgrounds Coliseum, Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. The main event is a wild six-man elimination tag battle. One entire team must be eliminated before the match is over. Don Carson, Red Shadow, and Corsica Joe battle the Scufflin' Hillbillies, Rip and Slim, accompanied by Cousin Alfred. Special referee Len Rossi. The NWA Southern Junior Heavyweight Championship is on the line as champion Len Rossi defends his title against the dangerous Tojo Yamamoto, with manager Saul Weingroff in his corner. Opening the card, it's a wild tag team battle as Ken Lucas and Dennis Hall take on Buster Gordon and Mighty Yankee. Be there Wednesday night at 8:30 at the Nashville Fairgrounds Coliseum for another action-packed night of professional wrestling.
Rip and Chuck on the left and right. Cousin Alfred's in the middle, out of sight. Indigo denim, tattered and thin. Cowbells ringing when they start to spin. Barefoot brawlers on a velvet mat. Dust on the boots and grease on the hat. Alfred's puffing on a hickory twig, getting the crowd ready for a shindig. They're the scuffling hillbillies, three of a kind, leaving all the city boys shivering behind. It's a mule kick strike and a possum puller win. Once the bells start ringing, let the chaos begin. Rip is standing on a wooden bench. Chuck's looking mean with a monkey wrench. Alfred's leaning with his brothers in crime, waiting for the referee to call the time. They don't need no laces, they don't need no gear, just the hollow sound of a holler cheer. Denim overalls and a heavy bell, giving every challenger a living hell. They're the scuffling hillbillies, three of a kind, leaving all the city boys shivering behind. It's a mule kick strike and a possum puller win. Once the bells start ringing, let the chaos begin. Hush. When the lights go low and the dust starts to fly, Cousin Alfred gives a squint of his eye. He grabs the belt, he gives a heave and a hoe. It's the possum puller, watch him fall down low. Yeah, the scuffling hillbillies, Rip and Chuck and Alfred, possum puller for the win.
These wrestlers performed for a fee later that evening at the Civic Coliseum or somewhere, but this was free and live. I guess we were promoting the wrestling that evening.
And as far as commercial loaded, I always have a full commercial load. Everybody waiting to get into wrestling.
Yeah.
And most everybody wanted to see it. Lynn and Bob say the ratings for the program were off the charts.
We are the champions, and we will destroy anyone who challenges us. Stay tuned to Channel 8. The mighty Yankees gonna ride them Sky Brothers into the mat.
Our real country sauce is the best you ever tried. Look for me on the label of Tennessee Pride. It's real country sausage, yes sirree. The secret of the goodness is the recipe. But before this song is done, all played, Mr. Odom will tell you how it's made.
Well, we start with fresh meat that's really grand, pure whole hog pork, the best in the land. Then we add a dash of X and a pinch of Z, and for flavor and taste we add Y9D. A touch of Odom magic blends all three. That's the secret of the secret recipe.
Our real country sauce is the best you ever tried. Look for me on the label of Tennessee Pride. Take home a package of Tennessee Pride.
Stay tuned. Mephisto and Dante are up next, and they are going to hurt someone, and I can't wait.
stay tuned to Hassling on 8. Us Von Brauners are going to hurt Fargo and Rossi tonight.
The Von Brauners are back, and everybody knows it. Few tag teams in professional wrestling inspired as much fear as Karl and Kurt Von Brauner. Portrayed as rugged brothers from Germany, they built a reputation for overwhelming opponents with brute strength, relentless teamwork, and a no-nonsense style that made them one of the most successful villainous teams of their era. Standing behind their success was one of wrestling's greatest masterminds, Gentleman Saul Weingeroff. With his trademark derby hat, cane, and sharp tongue, Weingeroff was never far from controversy. Whether distracting referees, arguing with officials, or giving his team a strategic advantage, he was every bit as dangerous outside the ring as the Von Brauners were inside it. This article celebrates their return to American wrestling, where they promised to chase championship gold once again while bringing their unique brand of chaos to every arena they entered. Fans loved to hate them, and promoters knew that wherever the Von Brauners appeared, excitement and packed houses were sure to follow. Throughout the late 1960s and into the 1970s, they became familiar faces across the National Wrestling Alliance territories, battling legendary teams and leaving a lasting impression on wrestling fans throughout the South and beyond. The Von Brauners and Gentleman Saul Weingeroff remain remembered as one of the classic manager and tag team combinations that helped define professional wrestling's golden age.
down at the old fairgrounds when Nick Gulas brought the toughest men around. Tojo, Fargo, Rossi putting on a show, screaming for the interns, watching freedoms go. The mighty Yankees fighting for the gold, the greatest stories that were ever told. Oh, that's my fairgrounds wrestling, that good old fairgrounds wrestling. Sunday morning light is spilling on the wood. Looking at the leather where I did all I could. Steel plates glowing under fluorescent white. Shadow of a champion from a Saturday night. A base sweater covers up the rope burn on my skin. Waiting for the bell to let the trouble back in. Iron in the grip, iron in the soul, holding on to glory, yeah, I'm in full control. With the fire in the lungs and the belt in the mouth, let Rossi is the name, let the thunder roll in. Defending the leather again and again. I felt the iron grip of the midnight sun. Mephisto and the devil, yeah, they're the ones I've run. Dante and Saul, they fell on the mat. The Yankees tried to take it, but they couldn't stand the flat. Tojo Yamamoto tried to break my bone, but they're all just names carved King of the South. But they're all just names carved on a headstone. Iron in the grip, iron in the soul, holding on to glory, yeah, I'm in full control. With the fire in the lungs and the belt in the mouth, let Rossi is the name, let the thunder roll in. Defending the leather again and again. Tennessee soil, yeah, it knows my name. Just a man in his belt, outliving the fame. The champ is home.
Johnny Rubberman Walker was one of the most unique wrestlers of the 1960s. Before entering professional wrestling, he made a living as a contortionist, giving him incredible flexibility that few opponents had ever seen. Discovered by legendary world champion Pat O'Connor while training in Hawaii, Walker quickly transitioned into professional wrestling. Fans were amazed as he twisted, bent, and escaped from holds that seemed impossible to break. His unusual style earned him the nickname Rubberman and made him a fan favorite everywhere he wrestled. Walker toured Canada, England, and Ireland, where he became especially popular with British fans. After returning to the United States, he settled in Atlanta and continued to thrill crowds across the South with his athletic, acrobatic wrestling style. One of his most successful partnerships came alongside Nashville favorite Len Rossi. Together, Walker's amazing agility and Rossi's technical skill formed a winning tag team that entertained wrestling fans throughout the Nick Gulas and Roy Welch territory.
Smoke-filled room is a cage of blue haze, watching the ghost in the static maze. A tailored suit points a white-cuffed hand across the table in a dark, strange land. Across the table in dark, strange land, bare-chested giant leans into the rail, counting the ways to make the strong man fail. In the glow of the tube, the world is small before the clatter of the wooden shoes fall. Hear the clack, clack, clatter on the hollow floor, a heavyweight knocking on the devil's door. Tojo Yamamoto, the baddest of the bad, stealing the soul of every man he had. A pinch of the white, a flash in the eye. You won't see the takedown till the lights go dry. It's a Memphis night, humid and thick. The salt hits the skin, it's a dirty trick. He don't need a clean win, he just needs a goal. A story of malice that'll never be old. With the black trousers never be old, with the black trousers cinched and the chest skin bare. He's breathing the heat of the arena air, villainy carved out of hardwood and pride. There ain't no place for a good man to hide. Hear the clack, clack, clatter on the hollow floor, a heavyweight knocking on the devil's door. Tojo Yamamoto, the baddest of the bad, stealing the soul of every man he had. A pinch of the white, a flash in the eye. You won't see the takedown till the lights go dry. From the Tokyo roots to the Tennessee mud, he's got the hunger and he's got the blood. No manager talking him out of the ring. He's the undisputed, the salt-throwing king. Step in the light, let the cameras roll. He's a legend with a price on his soul. Hear the clack, clack, clatter on the hollow floor, a heavyweight knocking on the devil's door. Tojo Yamamoto, the baddest of the bad, stealing the soul of every man he had. A pinch of the white, a flash in the eye. You won't see the takedown till the lights go dry. Tojo Yamamoto, clack, clack, clack. Watch your eyes, boys. He's the baddest of the bad.
Let's check in with our sponsors. We'll be right back with more live studio championship wrestling right here on Channel 8.
Now you bet right with Martha White.
Yes, sir.
Goodness gracious, good night, Martha White.
Martha White.
For the finest cornbread you can bake, get Martha White's surprising meal.
Hot rice, surprising meal.
Martha White's surprising meal, for goodness sake.
Yes, ladies, you'll make your family mighty happy when you serve cornbreads made with Martha White's self-rising cornmeal. It's got hot rise, Martha White's own miracle baking ingredient that gives you cornbreads that are higher and lighter every time. Get a bag of Martha White's self-rising cornmeal with hot rise right away, and you'll agree.
For the finest cornbread you can bake, get Martha White's surprising meal. Hot rice, surprising meal. Martha White's surprising meal, for goodness sake.
You're watching WSIX TV, Channel 8 in Nashville, Tennessee.
Milano and the Golden Greek Spirits are in, and it's the masked medics. The medics, of course, could lose their masks, and Spirits are in, and the Golden Greek could lose their hair. It's been a brawl from the word go, and the excitement is mounting. First one team is on top, and oh, look at that. He's smacking with a can which had been bent into pieces. The medics had brought it in first, and now it's all four men in the ring at the same time. It's no disqualification, no time limit, no count-outs, anything goes. The rules are thrown out the window. There must be a winner, and it's off with the mask or off with the hair. Look at that drop kick by Spirits Arrayan. And now look at this. Down he goes. Go, yeah, and that's it. The winners of the match. They keep their hair. Mario Milano and Spirits Arrayan. The Golden Beat, Spirits Arrayan and Mario Milano. The Nash Medics now.
Harold's got the layout, Shire's got the shine. Two men in the studio, drawing up the line. A ruffle sleeve of satin against a dark wool suit, smiling for the jeweler while the heart turns to suit. Diamonds on the billboard, but the steel is in the glove. No peace in the valley, and there ain't no room for love. Cut 'em deep and cut 'em true. Diamonds are white, but the story is blue. Fargo and Hickerson, a debt that won't get paid. 2,000 nights in the Crimson Blade. Harder than the carbons, but the fans buy the bruises. The fans buy the bruises. Memphis air is heavy with the scent of pint so clean. Trying to wash the crimson off the canvas of the scene. But you can't wipe away a cut that's carved into the soul. Two bodies in the corner losing all their self-control. Shire says know your jeweler, know the value of the stone. But Hickerson and Fargo are fighting for a throne. Know your jeweler, know your scar. Gone too far.
Yeah.
Woo! The king is coming! Bleached blonde hair shining in the arena haze. He's the reason we live through these long, hot southern days. Got that heavy leather strap around his waist. The fabulous one, baby, with power and with grace. From Nashville to Birmingham, they scream his name. The king of the territory, the master of the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, wrestling fans throughout Nashville and Middle Tennessee, this is a special announcement. The action you've been asking for is coming back to your television screens. Live studio wrestling returns every Saturday night, bringing you the hard-hitting excitement, the colorful personalities, and the championship battles that made professional wrestling a television tradition. Beginning Saturday night, tune in from 8 o'clock until 9:30 p.m. for all the thrills and excitement of live professional wrestling on Nashville's newest television station, WMCV-TV, Channel 17. See your favorite wrestling stars in action. Witness fierce rivalries, championship contests, and all the excitement that only live studio wrestling can deliver. Make plans now to gather the family around the television each Saturday night and be part of the action. Don't miss it. Live studio wrestling every Saturday night from 8 o'clock to 9:30 p.m. on WMCV-TV Channel 17. Presented by wrestling promoters Nick Gulas and Roy Welch. Be there when the bell rings.
Be there for the July the 4th spectacular is Tojo Yamamoto. Please don't wave that around like that, Tojo.
Well, you answer me, Mr. Tojo Honorable Imperial Yamamoto, you understand? Yes, Jackson fan, July the 5th Jackson fan, hometown boy also has joined the Japanese Imperial Wrestler Incorporation. Mr. Fear Hickerson, no more. His Japanese sumo name is Tochinitsky, you know, you understand? And he is my own bodyguard, and he's also my Yojimbo. You understand? And he's going to be my only one, an imperial bodyguard for Tojo Yamamoto.
Well.
Step right up and see the lights glare in the black and white. WMCV Channel 17 brings the Nashville heat tonight. WMCV Channel 10 brings the Nashville heat tonight. From the mind of Nick Gulas and the heart of Roy Welch, we're serving up a lesson that the history books won't teach. The special on announcement is screaming on the screen, the meanest bunch of wrestlers that the world has ever seen. Jackie Fargo's coming to town to turn the world upside down. With a loaded fist and a gravel voice, he's the king of this here town. Can you hear the crowd go wild? Can you feel the tension rise? There's a fire in the studio. Look at the hunger in their eyes. Look at the hunger in their eyes. Len Rossi's ready for the fight. He's a mountain of a man, while Mephisto and Dante are hatching up an evil plan. Bearcat Brown is growling loud. Don Carson's got a scowl. And the mighty Yankees are coming with a midnight howl. Put the rabbit ears upon the set and let the static clear, because the baddest names in wrestling are finally here. Jackie Fargo's coming to town to turn the world upside down. With a loaded fist and a gravel voice, he's the king of this here town. Can you hear the crowd go wild? Can you feel the tension rise? There's a fire in the studio. Look at the hunger in their eyes. Look at the hunger in their eyes. Jackie Fargo's coming to town to turn the world upside down. With a loaded fist and a gravel voice, he's the king of this here town. Can you hear the crowd go wild? Can you feel the tension rise? There's a fire in the studio. Look at the hunger in their eyes. Look at the hunger in their eyes. See you Saturday at 8. Don't you dare be late. Channel 17, Nashville, Tennessee. Gulas and Welch, that's a wrap.
Andy, we'll look for you next week, right here at the same time, 11 o'clock. Until then, a reminder that Studio Wrestling comes to you from the studios of Channel 13 at 485 South Highland. Directed today by John Wolf. This is Lance Russell speaking for Dave Brown, inviting you back again next week and bidding you a very good day.